Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey, TITTH number 129. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got a couple of Nicks with me tonight. I got Nick Davis from TITTH. You guys tune in, you know who he is. And I got my little brother, Nick Olzak, Nick OZ. How we doing, guys? Happy Monday.
What's up, y'all?
What's up going on?
Not a whole lot. Watching the Blackhawks here, going up against Columbus. Blackhawks are one of my best picks for tonight, and they're already down 1-0. So not a whole lot. Going good, but not great, right? But how's everybody doing? Welcome Nick Olzak. Welcome my little brother. How we doing, guys? How's the weekend?
Mine was chill. I just hung out. I went to work on Saturday and then chilled. So, I had a real relaxing weekend.
Right on. How about you, Nick, or OZ? Got to
good.
differentiate the two.
I played in a charity hockey tournament down in Chicago for the weekend, so that was pretty fun. Got smoked We got smoked by some teams from Johnny's Ice House.
That's kind of typical. They're gonna run it up there. What was your performance like? How'd you do? How'd you fare?
I had a goal, 2 assists, and a penalty.
Oh, I'll take it. What was the penalty for?
Too many men.
Oh, come on, my guy.
That ain't you.
I thought I taught you better. You better. Too many men. Unreal. Know your shift, my guy. Nick, how's it going with the Caps right now?
I like their moves that they did today. I really like the Mantha move, but I'm actually pulling up their game log. I did see that they were winning. Let me get it up. Oh gosh, come on. There we go. Okay. So they're 2-2 in their last 4 games. They went 8-1 against the Bruins last 2 days ago. So I'm happy with that performance, and they beat Buffalo, so that's good.
Didn't they win like 8-1 the other day?
Yeah, 8-1 against the Bruins. So
that's wild.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm glad we got that win before they got Taylor Hall, because he's gonna be a freaking headache like in Buffalo. But we'll get to that.
We'll see.
I've been okay with the Caps' performance recently.
Yeah, Nick, how about the Blackhawks? We just tied it up 1-1. I think that's a clean goal from Duncan Keith. No tips.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, the Hawks, I expected a little more from the deadline. I did not like the move of Carl Soderberg going back to Colorado. Thought they could have gotten a lot more for him, for someone that's producing, every other point every other game, to say the least. Adam Gaudette, they brought him in. He'll be a body out there. That's about it. But overall, I wish they could have gotten some more defense, because they don't have anyone really to play alongside Duncan Keith, and Adam Boquist is still growing. And I think they need a guy up to play along Duncan Keith. And I was really looking for
Stillman and that Carlson and Walmart trade. So I think he's playing tonight. Actually, I saw him on the ice. I think maybe he's filling in for Calvin DeHaan. I think Calvin DeHaan was questionable coming into this one. I didn't really see the final injury report, but I believe he's number 61 in white, Stillman, for the Blackhawks. I think he's making his debut. I could be wrong, but I believe that's him out there. Blackhawks tied up at 1. We got about 3 minutes left in the first. They're one of my best bets for tonight. Nick, I typically, or OZ, I should say, I typically give the Hawks update. So I guess I'll skip over that and go with my, rest in peace to my fantasy team this year. We got 1 week left in the season. I'm 3rd in the league in points. OZ, you can atone to this. I'm locked out of the playoffs.
You're not locked out yet. You're not out yet.
The top 6 teams are locked in. That's it.
No, it's top 8.
It's top 8 make the playoffs?
Yep.
What kind of playoffs did you set up here, man? OZ's the commissioner. I mean, I didn't even know. I'm still in it, apparently. I got to win this week.
You got to win, and Tom's top shelf has to lose.
So Nick's old principal has to lose, and I need to win. All right. Shout out to Tom's Top Shelf if you're watching. You're going down. 3rd in points, man. It's just brutal. I thought I signed up for fantasy hockey, not fantasy football. That happens all the time.
Yeah,
that happens all the time in fantasy football. Nick, you're in a league with me where I finished 4th in points, and I what was it, 10th in the league, right? In fantasy football.
You got straight up house because you beat me, and I made it to the championship, and I was like, man, like you got a good lineup. You're just going against guys that are just going off that week for you. Like
that was a different league. That was a different league. But we're in a couple of leagues together. But in that league, yeah, I was like the first team out. But in the other one where I was 4th in points out of 14, I was like in 10th place. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is that? So pretty rough ride for the fantasy hockey. Apparently to OZ, according to OZ here, I'm still in it. I got this week to still work it out. Hey, I'm still picking up players. Am I not? I'm still. You can still see me on the waiver wire. So I'm still on it. Not giving up. I really just, I'm after the Yahoo rating. You can't die on the Yahoo rating hill. You know what I mean? So you got to get after it. But let's jump into some of our best bets for tonight. Do you guys have anything? I just had the Blackhawks money line, or actually Blackhawks and Carolina parlayed money line. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't really bet too much on hockey, but for me, I would say the best bet, what is it, over under 5.5 for the Hurricanes and the Wings? I'm gonna go over for that. 5.5. I'll say that's my best bet. So that's my best bet for you guys.
You got anything, Nick, or or OZ? You want to jump into the best bets?
No, I think the monkey knife with the Blackhawks, like on your end. Follow them.
Sounds good. Well, they're tied up 1-1. Coming to the close of the first period, they're getting outshot about 13-10. All right, so let's jump into some of the monkey knife fight picks. Big Nick, you got that pulled up?
Yeah. So we got Max Pacioretty versus Drew Dougherty. So it's Vegas against LA. Dougherty has plus 1.5 fantasy points. What do you guys think?
That's tough. The 1.5. That's a lot. I don't like to turn down those 1.5. So I guess I'll take Doughty.
Yeah, I'm with Doughty too. That 1.5 does it for me. I think if it's just even, then you take you take the other side. But Doughty from this one. I'm
gonna go against the grain. Just say Pacioretty. Right. Just play devil's advocate. Next game, or next one up is same game. Knights versus LA. Shea Theodore, defenseman, against Jonathan Marchessault, plus 0.5 fantasy points.
Marchessault versus who? Sorry.
Oh, you guys talked at the same time. Sorry. What?
Nick said Marchessault, but who'd you say? Shea Theodore is the other guy?
Yeah, Shea Theodore, defenseman.
Does who has a bonus or no bonus?
Marchessault has 0.5 plus.
Damn, they're pissed. Give me Shea. Shea's been my guy all year. I got to ride him out.
Give me Shea too. I like the disciplined play of Vegas. LA is disciplined, but they aren't as good as Vegas, and I think that Shea's gonna eke out a couple points there. Next one up, Jordan Binghamton, over under 24.5 saves.
Canceled. It's canceled. Game's canceled. They're playing the Wild. It's canceled. Move on to the next one. That's my bad. I put it in there earlier today, and then Minnesota went and canceled all games across all professional sports.
Oh yeah, because the shooting. I was like, why is the game being canceled today? But anyway, Alex DeBrincat, left winger versus Seth Jones. Seth has 0.5 fantasy points bonus.
Oh man, I got to go with Seth Jones. I mean, DeBrincat has to score. He has to get on the board, and I think he may have had a goal in the last game up against not Carolina, Columbus. So I'm going to go with. Sorry, who did you say? Fuck.
It's Seth Jones versus Alex DeBrincat.
Seth Jones gets a lot of shots on net. I think in the last game alone, he had 4 or 5. Del Zotto and Seth Jones both get a ton of pucks on net. So I'll just take that upside that he gets a ton of pucks on net, maybe grabs an assist. So I'll go Seth over DeBrincat.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seth too. He's a very offensive defenseman. Interesting fact, in case anyone didn't know, his dad, Seth Jones' dad, played for the Wizards. His name was Popeye Jones. Was never very good in NBA Live, but anyway, that's how I knew who he was. Seth Jones, guy. But he's very offensive for a defenseman. I think he's going to get a lot of shots on goal, so I'm going to take him.
Okay, cool.
OZ?
What you got, Nick? OZ?
Yeah, I'm thinking this one. Probably going to go Seth Jones all the way. I think, like you said, Justin, you need Alex DeBrincat to score for him to get anything. Because when he shoots the puck, it goes in the net most of the time. He's not a guy that shoots it right in the goalie's chest. Right. So, I'm taking Seth Jones, and that 0.5 bonus but it helps his case a lot.
Yeah, and I just have this one as a really tight game. So I see Columbus really trying to start a lot of plays from the point, and kind of get into some conservative hockey a little bit here because they're well behind in the points race. Chasing this division. So if they're gonna make a run at it here, they're gonna really need to tighten up. So I see a lot of shots coming from Jones and Delzato again tonight.
All right, next one up is Patrick Kane. Of course, everyone knows who that is. Against
Kane.
Cam Atkinson, who has a 0.5 bonus. I'm gonna say Kane too. That's pretty easy.
I've got
pick
Kane
for
too.
everybody.
Yeah, that's obvious.
You can give Atkinson another 1.5 if you want. You can give him 2 whole. Kane all day. Kane all day.
Yeah,
I think Kane may have already have an assist. Actually, I'm not sure who got the assist on Keith's goal there.
There you go. All right, so next one up. Mikko Rattanen, the winger of the Avalanche, against Jacob Shakurin, the defenseman for the Coyotes. Shakurin has a 1.5 bonus for the fantasy points.
Mikko.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Mikko too. He's on one of the offensive lines for the Avalanche, who's been pretty high scoring, throughout the season. So I'm gonna take someone on that offense like I do with like Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sticking with Mikko too. I think playing on that top line with McKinnon and Landeskog, he's bound to get something done.
Yeah, you can get garbage all day there. Next one up, Gabriel Landeskog versus Cale Maker. Cale Maker has 0.5 fantasy points bonus.
Ooh, that's tough. Man, I'm a big fan of Cal. I'm a big fan of Mr. Maker. Oh, man. I got to go Landeskog still. He's on that line one. Like, if you're going to take Mikko, why wouldn't you take Landeskog? You're just kind of streaming the pair.
Yeah, that's true.
In the same line together. Kale will be out there with a bunch of different guys.
I'm going to take Kale because he has been electric for a defenseman,
Always.
And especially for how young he is. I'm definitely going to take him for this one, even though Landeskog, this is like the hardest one that we have on the board, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take Kale too. I think just this, again, a tough one. Tough not to take Landeskog because he's on that first line, but I think Makar from the point, just shooting it all the time. He's a real versatile defenseman. Really moves well in his feet, gets in the play offensively, and I think that he'll do something tonight.
I like it. I like it.
That was the last one on the board.
All right, cool. Well, if you guys haven't checked out monkeyknifefight.com, be sure to do so. If you sign up with promo code to the Hizzy, they'll match your deposit 100% up to $50. So go check them out today if you guys are interested in player props and prop betting in general. A lot of fun. All right, cool. So let's jump into the game previews here. We're going to use the opening lines and take our standout picks for tonight. First up, we've got the Senators and hosting the Jets. Let's see. The Jets come in on the road as favorites. Over under in the game is 6 goals even. Who do you guys got in this one?
Ooh, in this one, I'm gonna take Winnipeg. Winnipeg's been a lot more solid than Ottawa. They have a 1.5 goal spread. I'm gonna say it's the plus options for the Jets, so I'm gonna take that. I don't know. I don't really believe in Ottawa this year. But I do believe in Winnipeg. They kind of like in a blind spot almost in like the NHL. Like they're a pretty solid team, and no one really talks about them.
Yeah, really the whole Canadian division and the West Coast. Like,
yeah, it's like they disappeared.
Black holes. What do you think, Ozzy?
Yeah, I think on my end, I'm going to go with Winnipeg. I like what I'm seeing watching them. Connor Hellebuck's hot right now, so I don't have any reason to not go Winnipeg. And Ottawa, they've obviously been struggling this year. They're in the slump as it is this whole season, and I think this is an easy game to pick for Winnipeg.
Here's some trends for you guys. So Winnipeg is 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games against Ottawa. Winnipeg is 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games on the road, and they're 5-1 in their last 6 games on the road against Ottawa. So
interesting. Yeah. I still have Winnipeg winning the game, but both teams have actually been covering. They're both 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games. But like Nick or OZ alluded to, the Winnipeg is really hot. They're 7-2-1 straight up in their last 10. So I'm gonna take Winnipeg on the money line. But I do think that there is some value for Ottawa to cover the number, to cover the plus 1.5. I think they could play them tight. I could see like a 4-3 win for Winnipeg here, and I do like the over of 6 goals even.
Yeah, I just saw that it was alive, so it is 2-2 right now. So
There you go.
some high scoring, but it is tight.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. We got Chicago and Columbus. We've already been talking a lot about this one. Chicago, one of my favorites tonight. They just played Columbus and they just beat them. Was it 4-3, OZ?
It was 4-2.
4-2. So they just beat them 4-2. It was a good game by the Hawks. They got up early. I think they were up maybe like 4-1 in that one. So I felt like this was going to be a closer matchup, but I still like the Blackhawks just because they're just higher in the standings over Columbus. Really, they have more to play for right now. Columbus is going to be forgotten in that division because realistically, it's going to come down to Nashville, the Blackhawks, and Dallas. And Columbus is going to continue to fall behind those guys. So I see, Chicago playing a little bit tighter hockey right now. They're both, not both, but the Blackhawks are 5-5 in their last 10. Columbus was at 2-7-1. So they're not playing great hockey right now. And like I mentioned earlier, they're getting a lot of their offense developing from the point, and they don't really have scorers up front. The Blackhawks have a ton of young talent that just love to get the pucks to the net. So I love them a lot more in this matchup, despite even their recent victory over Columbus.
Here's some trends. It's kind of like they contradict, but they don't. So Chicago is 5-1 in their last, or straight up in their last 6 games against Columbus. They're 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games on the road. But good news, they are 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games on the road against Columbus. So I'm going to say,
conflicting, like you said.
Yeah, it's definitely conflicting, but for me, I put a lot more stock when they're playing against a team than on the road. There are some teams that just have the other team's number. And for me, total has gone with the over. Total's gone over in 4 of Chicago's last 6 games this season, and total's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games against central opponents. So I'm going to say the over today.
I got the under still.
Yeah, I think I'm sticking with the under.
I got a 3-2. I got a 3-2 win from the Blackhawks. Shout out to Chris Robin at Detroit Beastie on Twitter. He was hosting a clubhouse earlier, and we were kind of going a little bit back and forth about this one. He had Columbus 3-2. I've got Blackhawks 3-2. So kind of in on that it's a tighter game. I just like those tighter matchups after kind of a high scoring game, right? Because they went over the 6 or over the 5.5 in their last matchup, and I like them to kind of sharpen out. As they've gotten to see each other, recently, right? Like they're playing in back-to-back games. So, but that's why, I do give credit to Columbus. I have them covering the plus 1.5. I got a 3-2 win out of the Hawks. So I think there's some value on Columbus to cover as well. OZ, what do you think about you said you like the total, but do you think Columbus can, stay in this one, or do they, potentially lose by 2?
I mean, I think Columbus could potentially lose by 2. It just depends on how they come out. They're really injury hurt lately with Zach Werenski being done for the season, and I think there's a lot of controversy going on in Columbus. So you never know with John Tortorella being on the fence right now. All his issues with Patrick Laine, and Laine finally scoring a goal last game against the Hawks after a 14-game drought.
I saw that, but again, he only had like 1 or 2 shots on net or something like that. He was barely getting the puck to the net. That's what he's supposed to be. That's his role.
Yeah, the problem is he's just not using him in the right role, and I kept on him in fantasy for a while, hoping that they put him in the right role, and they just never did, and he hurt my team a lot.
Yeah, we've been talking up, or not talking him up, but talking about Tortorella quite a bit this season, and nothing's been really positive. So I think as far as where he's on the fence, it should be on the way out, on the outside.
I feel like everybody's on their way out in Columbus. I feel like everybody's on the trade block. They're listing all offers. I was seeing different stuff pop up, and I was like, oh man, it seems like they're giving up everybody here.
Not Cam Atkinson. I'm still riding him out, and apparently I'm not out of it.
He was the one name I didn't see. There was a bunch of names I did see, but Cam Atkinson was not one of the names that popped up in the rumors. So.
No, interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got Detroit and Carolina. Carolina, I'm a big favorite on tonight. They're 7-2-1 straight up in their last 10. They are 14-2-4 at home. However, they are 16-24 ATS. So I like Detroit to cover. I think they lose by 1 tonight. What do you guys think?
Detroit
did just beat them too. Detroit just beat them in their last game.
Is Detroit home?
They are away. They are away. That's why I referenced Carolina's home record. It was at 14-2-4 all season.
Yeah, I mean Detroit is 26-17 against the spread, 16-6 at home, but 10-11 away. So I completely understand why you're leaning towards them covering. Let me see. They're 3-6 straight up in their last 9 games against Carolina, and they're 2-8 straight up in their last 10 games on the road. So it's going to be a tough game for them, but I would say that they don't cover still, because I did say that Carolina is going to cover for my best bet. So random game going against his green.
What do you think, Cozy?
Yeah, I think that they'll cover just because the last game was so close. I think you should expect another close one tonight because you look at all these teams in these divisions, they all play each other so many times. So they all know the tempo of each other and they know what to expect almost coming into the game. So I think it makes for a lot of close games and late in the season like this.
And alternating games like baseball.
Oh, God.
Seriously, that's what it's like now.
It is. It really is. I'm waiting for the double headers to start. I'm not kidding.
For real, yeah. Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine playing hockey against the same team like that. Like, I was thinking, man, wouldn't your feet be hurting from the skates like so much like this? Like, it's intense.
Didn't Arizona and St. Louis play like 8 straight games?
Yeah, that's intense. Like,
that's a bit much. Like, it's more than playoffs. What the hell?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so I got the Red Wings covering. Hurricanes win.
What do you guys think about the total of 5.5 goals? I'm going to take the under there.
I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
I feel like with Mantha gone, some lower line guys are like, "Oh man, I got my chance! Like, let me get some goals in," and stuff's just gonna fall in. So we'll see what happens.
All right, sounds good. Next up, we've got the Maple Leafs traveling to Montreal. Maple Leafs coming in as favorites, minus 145 on the money line. I'm sure that's shifted a little bit. Goal total is at 6 goals here. I mean, there's no team hotter than Toronto right now. 9-0-1 in their last 10 straight up. 6-0 straight up in their last 6, 5-0 the last 5 on the road. You guys got any love for Montreal tonight?
Well, reality has love for Montreal. They're up 2-0 into the first. So, I mean, I was waiting to lay that on you.
Nick, what is the deal with Toronto and Monday night, man? Like, I feel like every time we're talking about Toronto on a Monday night, they've been hot. They're coming in, streaking. We're talking them up, and then bang, kicked in the face.
Yeah, we got to move the show to Tuesdays at this point because we do talk about Toronto a lot, and they are a very good team. But every time we talk them up, they just get smacked in the mouth, and we're just like, all right, well, should we just start like saying on Mondays? Well, it's a Monday, they're gonna lose, and then they'll probably start winning at that point because that's how it always goes. It goes against us.
OZ, there was probably 5 to 7 weeks ago. I don't remember when it was, but it was the Ottawa versus Toronto. And man. Ottawa was down 4-1 or 5-2, and they came back and won. It was ridiculous. We were like, yeah, hammer down Toronto. This is crazy. They've only got them at minus 200. Oh, there they go.
What the hell? It was ridiculous. It was funny, but at the same time, not profitable. That which isn't fun, right? So
yeah.
Where are you at on this one, Nick? You still going to ride with the Maple Leafs even though they're down 2-0?
Jeez. I wish they had a stat on here like comeback wins, like how much the average deficit for a comeback win they have. With 2-0. I have no idea what they're even shooting against each other, but I'm gonna say Toronto because Toronto is 6-0 in their last 6 games. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games against Montreal. They're 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games on the road. I don't know. I think the hockey gods are playing some games right now, and Toronto will open it up in the next couple periods. So I'm still gonna ride with Toronto because I'm a trend guy, and I'm gonna ride with the trends.
I've actually since undecreed sports gods. Hockey gods, basketball gods, baseball gods. It's only one god, and it's the god of the sports book.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
He who has the numbers shall play with our minds.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, they make them really tasty sometimes.
Oh, they do. OZ, what do you think about this one? Can Toronto come back?
I think Toronto can come back. You can never count them out. You look at what Austin Matthews is doing right now. He's making so much happen, and he's been a goddess for my fantasy team. And
who's that?
Austin Matthews.
Oh yeah, good golly.
Yeah, you never know when he's just gonna come out and he's just gonna open the game up himself. And plus, I want to take Toronto this one because I want to see Jack Campbell go to 12-0.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
He wasn't he the first or I don't know. Second, okay, at 10
since Carey
straight
Price.
games. That's
Mhm.
impressive. Like, that's very
Yeah.
impressive. And then also Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner has been lighting it up this year and really benefiting from playing with Austin Matthews. It seems like they got their chemistry together. Like the past 2 years, I think he wasn't like scoring as much. He's kind of like in the back end, but I've been really impressed with how Marner's come back and helped lead the team.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been a fun team to watch, except for on Monday nights this year.
Monday nights. They got a case of the Mondays.
Yep. Let's jump into the next one. But before we do, if you guys haven't taken the opportunity, please like and share the video and follow us on YouTube /Take It to the Hizzy. Next up, we've got the Coyotes traveling to Colorado, coming in as road dogs plus 290 on the money line. Avalanche big favorites minus 365. Over under is at 5.5 goals. What do you think on this one, Ozzy?
I'm taking the over on this one. I think Colorado's offense has been really explosive as of late. And Arizona, they're playing some iffy hockey. So I can expect a lot of goals out of Colorado in this one.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, Colorado's 7-1 in their last 8 games. Total's gone over in 7 of their last 10 games against Arizona. And they are 11-1 straight up in their last 12 games at home. The book kind of has it at like basically a 2-4 win. That's rounding up, so I'm going to take the over. 74% of the numbers are on the over for this game. But watch it go under.
Yeah, I like the over as well. Actually, Arizona, they're 9-3 in their last 12 to hit the over, so they've got upside themselves. They've been playing actually a lot better than you think, Ozzy. What is it, 6-4 straight up in their last 10, 7-3 ATS in their last 10. I made some profit on them about 4 or 5 days ago, sneaking a little pick there on the Yotes on the money line. They were a plus option. I forget who it was against. I think it may have been the Kings, but I think they were on the road, so I was all over them. I like them to cover tonight. I think they'll actually cover the spread. I know it's a little bit tough up against a stiff offense like the Colorado Avalanche, but I think the Coyotes, they're trying to make a run at this and try to finish the season strong and make a run at the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Yotes on the spread. I'm going to take Avalanche on the money line, and I like the over as well. There's plenty of upside on both sides.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. We've got the Golden Knights traveling to Los Angeles, taking on the Kings, coming in as road favorites, minus 185 on the money line. Over under is at 5.5 goals here. This is a close one. I'm gonna take the over though. It's not a very typical trend of the Kings. What do you guys think?
Well, in LA's last 3 games, well, basically last 4 games, it was a 4-2 win against San Jose, 2-5 loss against San Jose. 4-3 win against Arizona, 2-5 loss against Arizona. So, Vegas has been alternating high-scoring games with like 1-0 games, 1-3. So right now it's trending to them having an over game. So I'm going to say Vegas wins with the over.
All right, cool. What do you think, Ozzy?
Yeah, I think I'm taking the over here. I like what I see out of Vegas. Those late-night games, being able to watch them a lot. And yeah, I like what I see out of them. I think they're one of the teams that I probably watched the most this year. And, yeah, they're playing some good hockey. So I'm definitely taking Vegas on the over, looking probably at like a 5-2 win game probably.
You watching a lot of West Coast games, you said?
Yeah.
Coming home from practice?
Coming home
Finishing
from
up homework.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Is that the case?
Homework.
Yeah, is that the case, Nick? Or Ozzy, is that the case? Really?
Do they have it these days still? Homework? Like I think they took it away after I left.
Big Nick,
yeah,
it's all homework. You work from home. It's like
yeah, pretty much.
True shit. I forgot about that. We lost Justin.
Oh no.
It happens. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next game. We got the Ducks and the Sharks going against each other. We got Ducks plus 1.5 on the money or on the puck line. The over under is 5.5. And let me see. The money line, Ducks are plus 155, Sharks are minus 190. Oh, there's Justin. There we go. We got it. See, you see how I did that? I just flowed right together. Like Ozzy had no idea, and I was like, you know what? We got this. We're gonna just keep rolling, keep it moving.
Get into the net. Get into the net. It's in. It's in. Get into the net. Sorry, I'm just interrupting all over the place, dropping my screen, yelling at another screen. My bad. I like San Jose, by the way. Who do you like, Jose?
Yeah, I like San Jose too. Martin Jones, he's been really hot. He was one of the guys I saw you guys touched on. I think it was last week, and the video about guys to pick up. And yeah, he's rolling, and I think the Sharks will roll with him.
Yes, San Jose has definitely taken the opposite approach of St. Louis on the show. San Jose has kind of like earned my respect with Martin Jones having success. They're starting to string together, a little bit of a couple streaks. They're starting to have their game come together. Anaheim's a very young team. I remember watching them play. I don't even know who they're playing, but I just remember how young they all looked. Like I was just, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Just really young. And I think that they're going to lose some trends against Anaheim. Total has gone, they're 1-5 in their last 6 games. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games against San Jose. And the total has gone under in 4 of Anaheim's last 6 games on the road. I'm just going to say, give me the under because I think Martin Jones is real hot and he's going to keep shutting them down. But I don't believe in any of the offense that is occurring.
What do you think about the total, OZ?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the under too. I don't like a lot of Anaheim's offense, and I think that even though they're not getting there offensively, they'll still keep it a close game, and Martin Jones will make it a shutdown game in the net. So, yeah, I think the under is the way to go on this one.
Yeah, I like the under as well. That would be my play. Like you mentioned, Jones, the Ducks offense just being, just very underwhelming. Anaheim 7-3 in their last 10 to the under. San Jose, though, 5-1 in their last 6 to hit the over, but I still like the underplay here of 5.5 goals. Give me Martin Jones all day right now, especially in fantasy. All right, cool. Speaking of fantasy waiver wire, let's jump over to that. Before we do, please go ahead and like and share the video if you already haven't, and like us on or follow us on YouTube / Take It to the Hizzy. OZ, who is the first guy up on the fantasy waiver wire? Who we got? Who you adding?
The first guy we got is a guy on my team. Is Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt, he's only rostered by 22% of the teams, and in the last day, he's been added by 2% of teams. And in his last 5 games, he's been hot. He's getting points every game. He's putting up at least 2 shots a game, getting blocks here and there. And one of the big things for me that I look in with guys is ice time. And looking at his numbers, he's playing over 15 minutes a game for the most part. Some games he's logging 17, 18 minutes. And I think that's a really good thing to see out of a guy that you're looking for. And I picked him up right around the 3rd game where he was getting hot. And since I've had him on the team, he hasn't let me down yet. So I'm going to hang on to him for a while.
Yeah, I like him. He's definitely somebody that I want to own and not stream right now. With all the moves that New Jersey made, obviously there's some playing time opening up here. So I like it a lot. What do you think, Big Nick?
And he's also going against the New York Rangers, so they haven't been exactly shut down. I think he's definitely going to be able to get some fantasy points for you. So I think the next 4 games are going to be a nice little pocket of points for OZ.
God, yeah, 4 in a row. Good golly.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Who's the next guy we got up, Big Nick?
So we got Craig Smith, winger on the Bruins. He's only rostered by 24%, but Boston is one of those teams where I'll take anybody on any line. They're just a great organization. Even though my caps go against them, I still got more respect for them than Pittsburgh. Anyway, his last 3 games, he had 15.8 points, 10.9 points, and 8.9 against 2 games against Washington and 1 game against Philly. He gets some shots on goal. He's had 2 goals and 4 assists in his last 4 games. I'm loving that. The one thing I'm really worried about is Taylor Hall going to the Bruins. He's probably going to bump down some of those lower guys, but I don't think it's going to be like, these guys are going to be completely out, especially someone that has been scoring. So I don't think Smith's going to be really affected, maybe even benefits from having Taylor Hall on the ice.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think the big thing to look here at, Nick, is look at that game up against your Caps. They lost 1-8. He scored the only goal, and he finished at plus minus at 0.
What a man!
In a game where they lost 8-1. Are you kidding me? He's a shining star.
Solid. Yeah,
and like you mentioned the stats, like 3 consecutive games of 8+ points, 2 goals out of his last 3 games. I'm loving every bit of it. He's getting very involved. Ice time is there. Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm all about it. So fire up some Craig Smith, despite getting Taylor Hall. I just feel like the only space that Craig Smith might get might get knocked out of is a little bit of playing time on the power play, maybe. And I don't even think so. I don't think so. I think there's plenty enough room to go around here, or playing time to go around. So,
Yeah.
Next guy we got up is Issa Lindell of the Dallas Stars. He is 26% owned. He's a defenseman. The goals and the assists aren't really there, but he gets a lot of blocks and shots. At least a couple shots a game. Was it 5, 4, 2 blocks? In those last 3 or 4 games here. So stacking up points mostly from playing time. This guy plays over 20 minutes every single game. He's going to run into something. So if you're hurting like me, I was an Aaron Ekblad owner. That's not great, and I'm constantly rotating out defensemen. This may not be a guy I want to own, but he is definitely a guy I want to stream. What do you think, Ozzy?
Yeah, I think that Lindell, like I talked about earlier, and like you mentioned, he's playing over 20 minutes a game. So he's bound to do something. And you're looking at his plus-minus rating, too. Like, you got a +1, +2, +3, +1. So he's getting the points there when he might not be on the score sheet. And same thing with blocks, too. Like, you got this game against Florida, he's got 5 blocks. Same thing against Chicago, he had 4 blocks. Like, those little points by the end of the week are going to add up a lot. Along with the assists he's chipping in here and there, I think he's a good pickup for your fantasy team.
The one thing I really like is he's taking 5 shots on his body and still getting 21 minutes. Like, this guy's durable. Like, he's not going to just get out of the game for taking a shot to the face. Probably he's probably like, all right, let me spit out my tooth real fast and just keep moving. So I like that. That would be something that I'm really looking for. Durability. That he's going to be available and he's going to get those 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Fire him up in fantasy. Issa Lindell. Again, not a guy I may own, for the rest of the season, but someone I'm definitely streaming. Big Nick, I'll let you take this one.
Justin Schultz. We've been talking about him a couple times. Only rostered by 31%. He has gotten 21 points against Buffalo and 10 points against Boston. Let me see. 3 assists and 1 goal. That's really good for a defenseman. He's also getting shots on goal. He's getting blocks, not in those games, but other games. So he definitely has availability too. The lowest that I'm seeing is 17, and that was 1 game. Other than that, it's above 18 minutes a game. So he's definitely going to be running into stuff. He's always going to be getting some points. So I would have him on the team for sure.
What do you think, Cozy?
Yeah, I think he's a good pickup. I had him on the team for a while because, in our league, you can change out guys every day. So he was one of the guys I was getting in the rotation. And when I brought him into the rotation, he was doing good. And another thing for him is still getting blocks here and there, getting a couple blocks. But, he's also chipping in a lot of points. Like you see in that 8-1 game, got an assist against Boston, that 4-3 win. He picked up a goal and 2 assists and a +2. And defenseman getting those points at the end of the day helps a lot because when you're in those tight matchups, you could really use a guy that can put up those late points. And for me, I had a guy like that in Mackenzie Weegar, who was putting up a lot of points for a long time when I picked him up. And he went from a guy I picked up as someone just to go in and out of the lineup to like one of my top defensemen. And I think over time that Justin Schultz could become that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy that I really like. The recent production is awesome. You got to love the scoring touch, obviously, especially in those big wins. But to me, he is a guy that I just kind of want to stream. I think that atones to his own percentage because I think he is a popular player in the league, and a lot of fantasy players, a lot of NHL fans like him. It's just that the production isn't always there. You see some of those games -2, -2, -2, even finishes some of the games on the negative side of the fantasy aspect. But right now, I think he's an asset you definitely want to own for sure, especially if you're in your last week of the regular season, hunting down the playoffs. He's got that scoring touch right now, so give him to me all day. Who's the next guy we got up, OZ?
We got Jacob Trouba. Jacob Trouba is owned by 46% of teams in fantasy. And I was just looking at his numbers while you were talking, and his blocks were something that are pretty special, like we were talking about earlier. A guy who can play 20 minutes and still be able to block all those shots is a good player. Like you look at his stats, he's got 4, 5, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Like he's blocking a lot of shots, and he's like even in this last game against the Islanders in the 3-2 loss, he blocked 4 shots and put 5 shots on goal, and had 6 points. And being able to get a guy that can shoot and block the puck like that and play that much, I think is something special because, like we said, he shows he's durable and he could be a good player for the teams.
What I think is interesting is that he's finishing some of these games negative, and he's still finishing positive in fantasy points. So he's got some scoring touch as well. Like you mentioned, playing a lot of minutes. So he's just very, very active in general. So that's what I like about him most. He was on my fantasy team. He's a guy that's on, off, type of guy, like a Trouba, like a Slavin, like a Schultz, like these types of guys. On your roster, off your roster, doesn't need to be somebody that you're hanging on to at all times. But right now, I like Trouba. He looks really good. What do you think, Big Nick?
He's got 4 games against New Jersey. This is a pretty good timing. Another thing is that he only went negative once, and it fantasy point wise, it was only a 1/10 of a point. So he's going to be getting at least 0 points and on. He's not going to be negative for your team. So that's really good. Somebody needs to pick him up in your guys' league because he's a free agent. So I would try and snag him during the show if I were someone in that league.
No, I don't need to do that. I make the best pickups. Nick knows this.
Yeah.
He knows this. I make the best pickups. There's a reason I'm third in points.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of the way that I drafted.
And it's not just me because of Benajad.
It's not. It's not. The bastard. All right, last one up. We've got Linus Ullmark, goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, making the list. Let's go.
What?
Not normal. But he's won 3 out of his last 4 appearances and had a huge comeback win yesterday up against Philly. I watched that one live. Big Nick, I was like this close to just throwing $10 at Buffalo because they were down 2-0 to start the first period. They tied it up within the first 5 minutes of the second period. I was punching myself in the head for not throwing $10 on them because they didn't look bad. Philly was just getting a couple of lucky goals. Linus Ullmark may have made, at least it's a candidate for top save of the year. Literally just throwing his paddle at the player's stick as literally the puck is about to cross the line, smacks it out of there. He's been playing great, 40 saves in his last win. In the previous game before that, he did let in 5, but he had 32 saves still. That's still 4 fantasy points. He didn't get the win, but in previous games, 27 saves, 12 fantasy points. 28 saves, 15 fantasy points. 31 saves, 20 fantasy points. Had 3 wins in a row, had a loss, and came back with a win. So I'm all over him right now if you need to stream a goalie. What do you guys say?
Proceed with caution. That's all I gotta say.
Agreed.
He's looking good, but Buffalo, the bottom's going to drop out at any time, and they're giving them. Yeah, they could trade away some players or release some. I don't even know what's going on there, but proceed with caution. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree. What do you say, OZ?
I think he's winning a lot of games, which is pretty good, especially out of Buffalo because they went on that big, 19-game losing streak.
That was glorious.
And for him to be the guy to snap them out of that was pretty cool to see. And even in these games that he's not winning, he's facing a lot of shots. Yeah, like you see, against New Jersey, saw 32 shots, and when he's playing, and no matter you're in Buffalo and you're a goalie in Buffalo, no matter who you are, you're going to see the puck a lot. There's not much help in front of you. So I think, and he's not playing bad with all the shots that he's facing. So I think even if they do lose, those shot points will help out.
Yeah, I'm all over him. He's getting a ton of work. That Buffalo defense is Swiss cheese in front of him, but it's creating some fantasy value here, so I'm all over it. Let's fire up some Linus Ullmark. Only 25% owned, so I think he's a good stream option. If you already are solid at goalie, but you need another start, you're in a competitive matchup trying to get a last win here, last hurrah to make the playoffs. I think he might be the guy to do it, or at least give you another 12 to 15 points to help you do it. So. But let's move on. Let's get into some of the trade deadline recaps, and then we'll head out here. Let's see. Starting out, going back to April 7th, because obviously we were on the show just kind of reacting to Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac going to the Islanders, traveling from the Devils. I absolutely love it for the Islanders. It's a very it's a Trotzy move. It's kind of an all-in move. What I was actually going to say was kind of a Quinville move. When Quinville was coaching the Hawks, we were always making exactly. we were constantly making moves like that. We got guys like Andrew Ladd at the deadline. I think that was the last big favorite of mine. So I love this move for the Islanders. They've moved into a top favorite of mine. For chasing the cup out of their conference. So what do you guys think here?
Oh yeah, these guys were perfect for the Islanders. I think I said I would like Paul Mary on the Islanders on the show.
Yep.
But yeah, Trotz is so similar to Quinville in terms of like
Mhm.
making moves and basically leading very strong like glue guys to championship levels. I mean, last
Mhm.
year they beat the Caps, and I was like, man, Islanders got a free pass to
Yep.
the Cup if they can beat the Lightning. And I think that the Lightning is like their biggest competition, and I think that
Mhm.
the Islanders are going to be a team. Like if they keep Trotz, I think they're going to be a team in the at least the semis. For the next 5 years at least, like, and
Yeah.
this kind of move is like saying like, hey, we're going for the Cup this year.
Mhm.
So I really like it for them.
What do you think, Cozy?
Yeah, I think those guys are a perfect fit, and I think Barry Trotz will be able to utilize them perfectly. I think Palmieri could fall into probably a second line role, probably, and then you'll have Travis Zajac there, who will real good face-off man, good depth piece, can help out in the penalty kill, and I think just those pieces right there will solidify a decent run for them. And to back them up, you have Ilya Sorokin and Varlamov. So I
Yep.
think I like the future of the Islanders.
Yes, it's, same here, and I think they're going to make a big run this year. I think those are really, really good pieces to fill in the big Anders Lee hole. Very disappointing to see him go down with injury, but we were all suspecting that the Islanders were going to recover from his loss and make a move at the deadline. This more than compensates for him being out of this lineup. So, yeah, big home run by the Islanders. I think they're going to use this to potentially make a run.
A+.
Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Next big one up that I like, we've got Devin Dubnyk going to Colorado in exchange for Greg Patirin and a 5th-round pick in I believe it's the next draft. So Avalanche getting richer here, getting Dubnyk. You guys like it?
I mean, just insurance policy. I mean, you gotta always have that second goalie that you can kind of go to if you're. I think is it Grubauer that's there? That's killing it. I mean, Holtby when he went to the Cup, he had a little bit of issues going to the playoffs, and Grubauer allowed him to get going. So I think Dubnyk would be a great insurance policy if Grubauer falls through.
Yeah, they're going to need it. What do you think, Oz?
Yeah, I agree there. I think you look at a lot of these good teams that go to the playoffs. Like look at the 2015 Hawks, for example. When Corey Crawford was in his slump, you had Scott Dong that came in and stole the show. And I think having that guy that you can go to is a real big thing when it comes to those deep stretch runs for teams. And
like a shot in the arm.
Oh, yeah. No, I love it. I mean, Colorado, they're going to be in the conference finals. I firmly believe that. They're going to be on the cusp of making it to the Cup. They look very strong. They're still the odds favorite to win the Cup at plus 400. So you have to love it. The rich getting richer, like I said. So it's a good move for them. They only give up a 5th-round draft pick. Nick, give me a little something on Greg Patirin. Anything? OZ?
No, he's not really anything. A 7th defenseman at that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They're not really getting that much in return. Wow, Columbus just missed an open net that could have gone up 3-1. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. All right, next up we've got Tampa Bay Lightning acquiring defenseman David Savard from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets dumping ship. It's actually part of a 3-team trade. So Detroit's in there. They're mixing up some picks, but Tampa Bay get Dennis Savard. News or snooze here? What do you guys think?
I think it's kind of news, but it's more towards snooze because I mean Tampa Bay's already got so many stars, and really it's just going to be adding to their bottom line. It was a 3-team trade, but it was just to kind of make the numbers work and make it worth it for everybody. So I'm going to go more snooze on this, but it is going to like help them win and get to the conference finals.
Right. What do you think, Yosi?
Yeah, I think this is more of a snooze too, because you look at like when they won that cup last year, they didn't lose a lot of defensive pieces. Like their core is still there, so I think this kind of just adds one more like depth piece to the puzzle. But it's not anything major that's going to help them down the stretch. Like David Savard isn't going to come in and be the showstopper and take it all for the Lightning.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like they were already great on defense. I didn't see this as like a necessary move. I mean, they're not, they're being risk adverse here. I mean, they're not really giving up much, but I mean, yeah, if you feel like you need to reload up on some defense, get some depth for the playoffs, I guess so. But that's really all it is. It's a depth piece to me, and it doesn't really excite me that much. So I'm going to say snooze for Tampa Bay. Next one up, we've got Toronto Maple Leafs acquiring Nick Foligno and Stefan. Was it Nosen? Probably butchering those, but sorry. I think that's great and all. I think that's cool by Toronto, but who doesn't Toronto have on their team? Like, how many more shooters do you really need at this point? They got Alex Galenchuk. They've got Wayne Simmons down there, still buried on the fourth line. Like, is Nick Foligno going to play on the third line with Joe Thornton, or play on the fourth line with Wayne Simmons? Or do they try him out in the first line over Galenchuk? I don't know, man. I feel like they've got one too many pieces. I feel like they're not going to make it. I honestly feel that way. I feel like they're like overloaded. It's like they're trying to be the fucking Nets of the NBA and the NHL. Like, I don't get it. They're just trying to acquire like everybody.
I think they're just putting too many eggs on the offensive basket. Like, I'm not really for that. I was hopeful for the Leafs to overcome their 4-year first round exit, but this isn't a move that's going to make them do that. Like, they need a little bit more defense and maybe a little bit more depth on the defense, not adding a fifth line that is probably going to see every other shift. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for that, especially with who you got, Matthews, Marners, and Tavares. Shit, like, you got to add to the defense. So this is a snooze for me just because it's just like, wow, like, there was no need for this.
What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I think I totally agree. There's really no need for this. They have so many pieces within their lineup offensively, and there's really no spot you can really put him. And I think it puts Sheldon Keefe over in Toronto in a weird spot because according to Daily Faceoff, he was trying out Foligno on the second line, but he's not a second line guy. He's more of like a third, fourth line guy that you'll maybe take in and out of the lineup. And to bring him over to Toronto is just unfortunate for Columbus because you look at Columbus, he's like a key player over there, playing big minutes, and he's going to come to Toronto and he's going to lose all that. Like, it's just an unfortunate circumstance.
No, Columbus, they're up 2-1 now, so they're not missing them too much. So we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, I don't see it as a necessary move. I agree, guys. Like, it's just not that wowing to me. It doesn't blow my hair back, and I don't think it really, produces more wins than they were already going to get.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
Okay, next up, Islanders also acquired Brandon Coburn from the Ottawa Senators. 7th-round pick in exchange. I think that's a pretty big steal for the Islanders here. News or snooze, guys?
It's going to be a snooze for me, but not because like it's a bad move. It's just it's just like Barry covering all the bases. Like, he got his offensive guys. He got a defenseman for only a 7th round. Like, that's basically nothing. So it's a snooze for me, but it's going to really matter in the playoffs. And we're going to see the effects of these moves help them propel to a Stanley Cup, I think, final, to be honest. I think they're a very good team.
Snap, yeah. Let's get to it. I got them in the conference finals. I don't know about the Stanley Cup just yet. We'll get into it though. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I think Coburn's a good piece, especially at that price is a steal. No matter what you can get for that kind of a price is a big steal for any team. And I'd still say this is a snooze, but I think it's a good depth move.
Yeah, I really like it. You're giving up absolutely nothing for him, and you're getting a guy that's just pretty solid on defense, a really good stay-at-home defenseman. So I like Coburn. He's pretty solid and not really fantasy relevant, but he gets the job done on the blue line for sure. So I like it for the Islanders. Next up, we've got the Penguins acquiring Jeff Carter from the Los Angeles Kings. Conditional draft picks 2022, 2023. Jeff Carter, super old. I mean, needs to retire by now. But good depth piece for the Penguins, who are, got Malkin, who's in and out of the lineup. So I think it's a solid piece for them. And honestly, the Penguins got a bunch of no-namers getting it done. So adding a guy like Jeff Carter to round out your third or fourth line right now, where they're at, I like it.
It's news to me because it's Pittsburgh. It sucks. Like, it's just like, I know Jeff Carr is old, but he also has Stanley Cup experience. I'm not saying Pittsburgh doesn't have Stanley Cup experience, but always adding a veteran like that will help the younger guys who are making stuff happen. Like, he'll see how the new guards coming in with like those lower lines, like, hey man, like I'm not the point anymore. Like, here you go, here's the puck, get your goals. I kind of see that happening and just bringing more synergy to those lower lines. So it's news to me just because it's in the Eastern Conference.
What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I think Carter, he's one of those guys I think they can move anywhere in that lineup, especially with guys getting injured all the time. He'll fit perfectly on that, second line, third line spot. And I'd consider this a news because I think he'll be a decently good piece going into their stretch run for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think he'll get good power play time as well. He'll get some opportunity there. Not saying to fire him up in fantasy by any means, but I think it's a good pickup for the Penguins. And conditional draft picks, I mean, how bad is it going to be? It's Jeff Carter. Like, what the hell? Next, we've got up the Boston Bruins acquiring Taylor Hall and Curtis Lazar from the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for Anders Bjork and a second-round pick. Can you say steal? I mean,
gosh, if any team was to acquire him and actually unlock him, it was going to be Boston. Like, I feel like it was going to be Boston. That's the one team that I really didn't want him to go to. I kind of wanted him to just go to some corner of the NHL and disappear. But he's going to Boston, and man, that's really going to change how the Eastern Conference is going to shake up. This is a very strong addition to a team that, as a team as a whole, is very strong. It's definitely news, and it's gonna suck because I feel like this puts like Boston above like my Caps. It's just gonna be tough now.
Well, they just lost to him 1-8, so I guess they need it.
but Taylor Hall is like a different addition to the team than like anyone else that was available. And they went to a good organization. It's not like he's going to Vancouver.
Right.
So for me, it's just like I think that this is going to change how Boston plays for sure.
What do you think, OZ? Now we lost OZ. It happens. No big deal. No, I think there he is. I think it's a great move for Boston. Line him up next to David Pastrnak, and good things are going to happen. So, what do you think, OZ, about Taylor Hall going to Boston?
Well, I think Taylor Hall is a good piece for the Boston Bruins. I think that Boston, like you guys said, is a place where he can probably get his potential unlocked. Because right now, his potential is going to no use at all. Correct. I think they got him at a really good time for a really good value because they gave up a second-round pick. Because after what he did in Buffalo and what he's done in his last few teams and how he's hurt them, the stock on Taylor Hall has gone down. And I think they want to try and bring that up. But however, I don't think it's a necessity for Taylor Hall because if you go and look at their defense on Boston, and they're struggling right now on the back end because you're down guys like John Moore, Brandon Carlo, Charlie McAvoy, Matt Grizzly. Like that's your whole defense right there. But I would have preferred to see them make a move for a defenseman besides the forward. But beside the fact, I think he's going to be a good player on the team, and I think his potential will get unlocked.
Well, he's only a 1-year rental, so he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So I don't necessarily see him having a future in Boston unless he wants to sign a friendly deal. But for a team that needs that extra layer of scoring, trying to chase the playoffs, I like it. I think it's a good move for them. I'm going to say it's news. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We got the Golden Knights acquiring Matthias Janmark from the Chicago Blackhawks. What did we get in return here? Not really much of anything. Second round pick. Yeah, bag of pucks. I mean, I'll take it just because I know Carl Soderberg isn't going to be on the team for long. He's not a long-term answer for the Blackhawks. So, if we're using him as a rental until some of these injured guys come back, right? We get some picks out of it. I don't hate it. I'm going to still say it's snooze, but I don't hate it. Janmark also wasn't the future of our squad, just like Soderberg too. So, yeah, I think it's a good move for the Hawks. What do you guys think?
Snooze to me. I wasn't even sure who the guy was before you mentioned him. So snooze on my side.
That sucks. He stinks. I don't even know who he is.
Cut him.
He's a good two-way player. I like Janmark.
Okay.
What do you think, OZ?
I mean, on my end, I think it's a good value. They got like a second-round pick back, and you look over, and that's what Taylor Hall's worth right now is a second-round pick. So the fact that they got that for like a fourth-line player is pretty good to me, considering he's not going to be this big superstar in Vegas, and he'll probably be like fourth line, probably scratch most of the time. Yeah. So in Blackhawks fans' hearts, it's news, but for the rest of the league, it's a snooze.
Agreed. Next up, we've got the Florida Panthers acquiring Sam Bennett
and a 2022 6th-round draft pick in exchange for Emil Heineman and a 2nd-round pick. I think the Panthers cleared up on this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah. For a 6th-round pick, let me see. Oh, sorry, for a 2nd-round pick. Yeah, I'm gonna say that they did. I don't really know Sam Bennett, but whatever you say.
He was a top 10 draft pick, wasn't he, OZ?
Yeah, he was, I think, 9th overall or 10th overall in 2014 or 15, I'd have to say.
2014.
Yeah, 2014. I knew it was right around that time. But I think it's a good depth move for Florida. I think he comes in that spot. He's going to be their 3rd-line center probably, maybe their 4th-line center. But, yeah, I see it as a good depth piece, and I think he'll play well under Joel Quenneville.
Let's go, baby. Fight. Connor Murphy's getting his ass kicked, but the guy, little Domi, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a 2 and a 2 for instigating because he got a penalty, went right at Murphy. They started fighting. I mean, he's got to get a 2 and a 2. I'm loving it. Let's go. You can beat the shit out of Connor Murphy all you want, brother. He didn't like the call. So what he did was he's like, hey, Murphy, come here. I'm going to fuck you up. And he did. He went right at him, cross-checked him. Murphy got a little bit mouthy, and then Domi just like ripped him to the ice. Stay down. And Murphy honestly has got like probably 3 or 4 inches on this kid.
Yeah, Tommy's short.
That was a nice event there. Yeah, Domi going to the locker room. He's done for the period. There's only a minute 51, but I'm hoping we get a double up here. 2 penalties. Yeah, you went right at Murphy. Like, you can't do that literally as they called a penalty on you. Like, what the hell? Hoping for a big power play here for the Blackhawks. Now, they at least get 1, but I hope they get 2. Who are we talking about? Sam Bennett. Yeah, he's a good addition for the Panthers. Joe Quenneville's going to get a lot out of this young guy. Still a young guy, not that old yet. Next up, we've got the Montreal Canadiens getting Eric Gustafson from the Philadelphia Flyers. Me and OZ are pretty familiar with Big Goost. Only in exchange for a 7th-round draft pick. I think that's a good value. He's a starting 6 guy. He's a bottom 3 guy, but he can be in your lineup. Helps out on the power play. Got a big hammer of a shot. What do you guys think?
He was getting 14, 19, 18, 16, 18. So he was getting some availability. Seems pretty solid. Only goes -2, but, I guess he was playing on a tough team. So I would say it's a good trade because it's only 7th round, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
7th-round pick.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
He's an established player. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, when he first came into Chicago, you were like, who is this guy? He came in and put up he put up 60 points as a defenseman, and then as with everyone, once contract time comes, once the re-sign comes, it's so close, and you just can't get him. But no, I think he'll be a good depth piece, and if he plays in the right spot, then he'll put up a lot of points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good ad for him, though. You got anything, Big Nick?
No.
All right, cool.
He's. I mean, it was just for a bag of pucks, basically. So, good deal.
Good clean swap. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the live betting, and we'll kick it out here. Chicago did get the 4-minute power play. Let's go. And we're already wasting time. I love it. It's great. Don't try and score, guys. I only have all my money on you tonight. No big deal. All right, let's jump into some of the live betting. If you haven't had an opportunity to do so, please go ahead and like and share the video. And follow us on YouTube, /Take It to the Hizzy. Let's go. Why doesn't it want to pull up the live betting lines? Sorry. Computer's been weird. I've been kicked out of StreamYard a few times. Stuff's not refreshing. Hopefully we just got a clean picture. That's really all I'm hoping for here. Going to have to switch websites here. I got the Blackhawks still down 2-1. Got about 3 minutes left on the power play. Columbus has already killed the first one. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to pull up this live betting. It just does not want to come up. Columbus breaking the Hawks offensive zone. Hawks coming back the other way. Very dysfunctionate. Not looking good. But they got the puck in the zone. So, hey, we're halfway there. All right. I finally got games up. Canadians up over the Maple Leafs 3-2. Maple Leafs, they're trying to storm back in this one. We are going to the 3rd period. Maple Leafs are plus 215 on the money line. I like that. I like that a lot. Over under is at 7.5. I'm going to take the Maple Leafs on a big comeback here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm still riding the Maple Leafs.
Yep, Toronto all day.
7.5 goals. We are at 5 goals total right now. Can we hit 8? I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 4-3 Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I think they're going to go off in the third.
All right. Let's see it. I wouldn't hate it. I know Nick or OZ wouldn't hate it for his fantasy team. That probably means Matthews is doing big things.
And Jack Campbell.
Matthews has scored.
Matthews just scored?
No, Matthew did score. He was the first score in the second.
Gotcha. Nice. Corpusalo just absolutely shut down Kaner. Top shelf was wide open. He just got a clip of his glove on it. About 2 minutes left to go in that power play. Next up, we've got Carolina and Detroit. Zeros at 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second. Wow. The total for this game is at 2.5 goals. I like the over still. I still like the over 2.5. What do you guys think?
Ooh, 2.5. Now I'm gonna say the under. I'm gonna say it's gonna go be a 1-0 win for somebody.
Carolina?
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on this one.
Okay. What do you guys think about the money line though? Detroit is at plus 200. 1 goal game, Nick, plus 200. You take it?
I would put $5 on it.
Yeah, it looks like the Red Wings are going to cover if they can keep Carolina at bay here. OZ, you want to take the Hurricanes or Detroit? Detroit's at plus 200 to win this one. Zeros. Hurricanes minus 245.
Yeah, I think I've got the Hurricanes to win this one.
Yeah, I think they're still going to pull it out, but I still like Detroit to cover. And then the Blackhawks that I've been just nonstop talking about here, coming to the end of the second period, Blue Jackets are up 2-1. Hawks are plus 215 on the money line. I still got them to win this one, and the over/under is at 5.5 goals, and I still have the under. Blackhawks 3-2. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the under on that.
Yeah, I'm going with the under.
All right, sounds good. Well, you guys got anything to close the show with? OZ, it was certainly a pleasure having you along. You going to come back?
Yep, hopefully. Just let me know, and I'll be here.
Yeah, we got to get your coaching schedule. What are you coaching, like 2 teams now?
Yeah, I'm coaching 2 teams, coaching every day this week, but just so happens it works out to where I can miss Mondays to be on the Hizzy.
All right, right on. Good stuff. Big Nick, you got anything to close it out?
Nope. Glad to be talking hockey. I don't even know when next show is going to be, but I'll see you guys next time.
It'll be next Monday at the same time.
Okay, there you go. Or Sunday, because we do football now, right?
Well, your next show will be Sunday. If we're going next show, shit, I'll be on 2 days.
Oh yeah,
I'll be on for basketball for number 130 on Wednesday. We got football on Sunday at 131, and we'll be back for 132 next Monday, same time per usual. All right, everybody, take care, be well. May the profits be yours. Later.
See you guys.